So a few days ago, I made a video about how Enlisted fixes their bugs, and when I mean fixes their bugs, I mean that they don't really fix their bugs. Today I'm going to be doing something different, and I'm going to be talking about how Enlisted balance their game, and once again, like how Enlisted balances their bugs, or fix their bugs, Enlisted doesn't really balance their game. Without that said, this video has been made possible through the friends at Discord, meaning that if you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. But that said, let's get started on how Enlisted balances their game. And when I mean balance their game, I mean that they don't balance their game. For example, once they add something in the game, they don't change it. And when I mean change, I don't mean changing by fixing, I mean they don't straight outright don't change it via fixes or stuff like that. At least, if they do fix it, it's gonna be taking a long time. A good example is the T50. That thing is extremely unbalanced and that hasn't been fixed, so that's gonna be extremely heavy. Not to mention, you have tanks like the T-34. I do not know how the Germans are gonna counter that, unless you either suicide bomb yourself or just bomb it from the air with a Stuka. But a T-34-76 is going to be impenetrable from the front, and the German tank is basically a joke. The Panzer III-J is essentially a joke. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is the Thompson 50-round drum magazine. Thankfully, that has been fixed, but before it was essentially a motor downer. And the Thompson 50-round drum magazine from 900 RPM has been dropped to 700 RPM. And that is still essentially a problem because Italy does not really have a counter to it. You can instantly argue that the Beretta M38 is a counter, but once again, the Beretta M38 only has 40 rounds. This thing is a Thompson with 50 rounds, and once again, it does more damage than the Beretta. So how does that even make sense? I don't know. Once again, this is Enlisted's issue of if they add something, they don't really even bother to change it, which is really gonna be a big issue. If Enlisted doesn't bother to change anything, then the imbalance is still going to be there. I don't understand how Enlisted is going to quote-unquote fix it, and yet they're saying that we always want to fix the game, which is essentially nonsense. This is an issue because if Enlisted doesn't change anything or something is really imbalanced, then people aren't going to play the game. It's simple as that. If people see imbalance or if people are suffering because of the weapons, and all you really have to do is go into the game, click on the stats of each weapon, or watch videos in which people will tell about weapons like me or other content creators, and then you will instantly see why these weapons are imbalanced and why Enlisted isn't doing a good job of balancing them, and then people are going to be dissuaded to leave the game or just straight outright going to play factions that are instantly going to have the instant win. For example, like the Allies Tunisia, because they always appears to have the better weapons, and they're just going to be stomping on the Axis, so that's going to be an issue. How do I even change this? How does Enlisted change this? Well, this is going to be the cream of the crop of the video, and which I hope Enlisted listens, and that is either adding in side campaigns in which they can get another weapon or different stuff, like, for example, at the end you can either have 2 weapons instead of 1, or by fixing the game by adding in a new or more balanced weapon, or, the better yet, replacing or removing unbalanced weapons, for example, like essentially the Panzer III-J for the Germans with essentially a Panzer IV F2 with a 75 long-barreled gun. That is easily going to make the game way more easier for the Germans in Moscow, but apparently Enlisted really doesn't care about that, so I don't know. Another example is giving the Italians a better Beretta or a better assault rifle for Tunisia, and that's going to make it a lot better. Because as of right now, Tunisia Axis still suffers, and that's not even a joke at this point. But that said, this is how Enlisted should balance the game, why it apparently has no balance as of right now, why Enlisted's idea of fixing or balancing the game is a joke, and that said, this is all it for the video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.
Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.